The alarm sounds at the same time. It always does. Your hand reaches to silence it before consciousness fully forms. Feet touch the floor in the same spot they touched yesterday and the day before. The body moves through its morning sequence, bathroom, coffee, phone, shower, without a single moment of awareness entering the process. By the time thought arrives, half the day has already been lived. This isn't laziness or lack of discipline. This is the body running programs so deeply embedded that consciousness has become optional. This is the psychology of a physical idiot. The fourth type in Gurdjieff's classification of 21 mechanical patterns, and this one operates so far below the threshold of awareness that years can pass before the person notices they haven't truly inhabited their own body. The physical idiot doesn't live through thought or feeling but through sensation, comfort, and habit. The moving center dominates their entire being, reducing existence to a series of memorized physical patterns that repeat endlessly without requiring any conscious participation. The body has built an automatic system that knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. This creates a peculiar form of sleep where the person appears functional while remaining utterly absent from their own physical experience. They walk without feeling their steps, eat without tasting food, and move through space without any awareness of their bodies moving. The physical apparatus operates on autopilot, and they mistake this automation for normal life. The mechanism functions through layers of conditioned response built over years of repetition. Every action taken multiple times creates a neural pathway. Every pathway reinforced becomes automatic, requiring less conscious involvement. And eventually, the body can perform complex sequences without any awareness at all. This is efficient from a mechanical perspective but catastrophic for consciousness. The physical idiot's body constantly seeks the path of least resistance, moving toward comfort and familiarity while avoiding anything that requires effort or creates discomfort. This orientation isn't chosen consciously, but operates as fundamental programming in the moving center, guiding decisions below the level of awareness. The body wants ease, pleasure, and repetition of known patterns. This comfort-seeking body quietly controls the entire direction of life. Watch how impulse precedes awareness in this pattern. The hand reaches for the phone before any conscious decision to check it. Food enters the mouth before hunger signals register. Words emerge before intention forms. The body acts, and only afterward does the mind construct justification for why the action happened, creating the illusion of choice where none existed. This reveals something crucial about the physical idiot's relationship to will. They possess no genuine volition because the body makes decisions faster than consciousness can form. By the time awareness notices what's happening, the action has already occurred, already reinforced the habitual pattern, and already strengthened the mechanical response that will repeat tomorrow. Gurdjieff understood that the moving center, when dominant, creates a particular type of imprisonment. The body becomes a collection of memorized routines running independently of any conscious direction, and because these routines feel natural, the person never questions. The physical idiot believes that following what feels natural represents genuine living, but what they call natural is usually just what's been conditioned through repetition. The body has learned certain patterns, and those patterns feel right not because they're natural but because they're familiar. Modern life amplifies this pattern to extraordinary degrees. The endless scrolling through devices happens without any conscious choice to scroll. The sedentary hours accumulate without any decision to remain still. Habits like movements of legs while sitting, the unconscious gestures, too much laughing while talking, all of it unfolds in a fog of physical automaticity that feels normal. Days blur together because nothing distinguishes one from another. The same physical routines create the same experiences, and the physical idiot cannot remember last Tuesday because it was identical to this Tuesday, which will be identical to next Tuesday. The body repeats its programs, and time becomes a meaningless measurement of mechanical repetition rather than lived experience. The real problem emerges when attempting any genuine change. The physical idiot cannot develop will because the body always chooses the easiest path. And will requires effort against mechanical momentum. Every attempt at discipline feels unnatural because it contradicts the body's fundamental orientation toward comfort. Every moment of conscious effort feels exhausting because it demands fighting against deeply ingrained automatic responses. This is why New Year's resolutions fail, exercise routines collapse, and any attempt to interrupt physical habits meets overwhelming internal resistance. The body doesn't want change. It wants repetition. It wants the comfort of known patterns. And because the physical idiot identifies completely with bodily impulses, this resistance feels like their own authentic preference. Gurdjieff emphasized conscious labor and intentional suffering precisely to address this pattern. Only deliberate effort against the body's habitual preferences can create the friction necessary to build genuine will. Only choosing discomfort when comfort is available can interrupt the mechanical flow of physical automaticity. But the physical idiot resists this work with every fiber of their being because it feels wrong at the physiological level. The body interprets conscious effort as a threat, interprets interruption of routine as danger, and awareness itself as unnecessary expenditure of energy that could be conserved through automation. The entire organism of a physical idiot conspires to maintain the mechanical. It acts like an enemy towards consciousness. Physical idiots attempt meditation. The physical dominance reveals itself immediately. They cannot sit still. The body demands movement, adjustment, and comfort. They cannot maintain a posture without fidgeting because the physical center keeps asserting its preferences. 5 minutes feels like torture because for 5 minutes the body is being asked to do something other than follow its programmed routines. The intellectual center in the physical idiot remains passive, serving the body rather than directing it. Thoughts arise primarily to justify physical impulses and rationalize habitual actions. The mind explains why the hand reached for the phone, why the body chose the familiar route, and why the comfortable option was obviously the right choice. Intelligence becomes the servant of mechanical physical patterns rather than a force capable of interrupting them. The emotional center exists in a similarly subordinate state, producing feelings that support physical preferences. They feel anxious when routines are disrupted, feel comfort when habits are maintained, and feel resistance when effort is required. These emotions aren't authentic responses but mechanical reactions that reinforce the body's dominance, creating an entire emotional landscape designed to protect physical automaticity. This creates fragmentation, where one center rules while the others act like supporting elements. The physical idiot cannot think independently of bodily impulses, cannot feel beyond physical sensations, and cannot act from any motivation except habit and comfort. The whole organism has organized itself around mechanical repetition, and consciousness has been squeezed out of existence. The turning point arrives when the physical idiot finally notices how much of their life unfolds without any conscious participation. They kiss someone goodbye but don't feel it. They walk somewhere and realize they have no memory of the journey. They read an entire page and realize they were completely absent. If the physical idiot possesses just a little spark of consciousness, these recognitions give birth to a life-changing question. Am I actually living my life? Most of them will dismiss this question because it threatens the fundamental illusion that they're in control of their life. They think that this is only a mistake or that they're too tired. But for those who can sustain the recognition, who can hold the uncomfortable truth that their body operates them, a different possibility emerges. Not extreme discipline or rigid control, but conscious use of the body, bringing awareness to physical sensation. Doing small acts with complete attention brings true fulfillment. This doesn't mean abandoning all routine or fighting against every habit. It means bringing consciousness to what has been unconscious. Feeling each step while walking instead of arriving at destinations with no memory of the journey. Eating slowly with attention to taste and texture instead of consuming food while thinking about something else. Reading in a way that your eyes scan, your mind comprehends, and your heart notices the emotions between the lines. Gurdjieff's movements and sacred dances served precisely this function. They demanded coordination between centers, required attention to physical position and movement, and created conditions where the body couldn't simply run its familiar programs. The unusual postures and complex sequences made automaticity impossible, forcing consciousness into the physical realm where it had been absent for years. Gurdjieff created the movements because the physical idiot needs this kind of friction. Otherwise, the body will not voluntarily relinquish control. This work reveals the difference between doing and being conscious. The physical idiot can do tremendous amounts while remaining completely unconscious throughout. Activity and awareness are not the same thing, and the physical idiot proves this daily through productive unconsciousness. Real presence in the body means feeling sensation as it occurs, noticing movement as it happens, experiencing physicality directly rather than through the filter of habit and routine. It means inhabiting the body rather than being operated by it. The physical idiot operates in everyone who moves through days on autopilot. It's not a special type of person, but a pattern that activates when the body dominates. So the final question is whether the body's quiet dominance can be seen clearly enough to create space for something beyond mechanical repetition. Have you ever experienced this pattern in your life? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you find value in this lecture and want to help this channel, you can support our work via PayPal. The address is in the video description. Until next time, take care and stay awake.